You know, Shaq, you added a new word to the vernacular in our pregame show, the super others. I got to start with a stat about those guys. Aaron Wiggins and Alex Caruso combined to outscore Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. Those super others stepped up tonight for OKC.
This is what you call a total team effort. You know, I've been saying for the past two games that Shai Gilgeous, with J-Dub and Chet. J-Dub has 19. Chet has, I think, 15 or whatever. Held them under 20, but then Caruso, super other, and then the other kid, Wiggins, 18. Total team effort they played, but we knew they was going to respond this way. They played well. Both teams played hard, but now OKC got their momentum back. Now we have a series. I was scared for OKC because usually, when you're upset, when you feel you let a game get away, you put the game away early. And the fact that in the first quarter it was close and the second quarter was close, they didn't pull away to like the early, mid-third quarters. But now we have a series, total team effort from OKC. Now, can they do that in a row? Because we've been saying, and we know from experience, everybody plays well at home. Can Wiggins get 18? Can Caruso hit 20? Can they shoot 48.8% from the field on the road? So now it's 1-1. Indiana stole one. I'm just glad it's not the old format, that 2-3-2.
Yeah.
Remember that format, that 2-3-2?
Yeah.
So now we have a series. I won't even be watching because after this, I'm dishoned.
Oh, shut up. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
I'm going to be in the Bahamas.
They have TVs in the Bahamas.
Yes,
they have ABC and
NBA
ESPN.
TV is also
not
on
in the ocean.
yeah, you do. Satellite. But,
not in the ocean.
So, Zeke, go ahead. You finish up because I know you were
I was just going to echo what Shaq was saying, how, they came
this
out
ain't water.
And they got, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, they got 5 people in double figures. But the most important thing that I saw tonight was on the offensive side for OKC, Shai was definitely a distributor tonight. Even though he got 34 points, but he got 34 points on 21 shots. As compared to last game, he gets 30 points on 30 shots. And that allows Holmgren to get in the game. That allows Jay Will to get into the game. That allows everyone else to get into the game. And not only with his 34 points, he got 8 assists with those 34 points. So as an offensive juggernaut, that's what he was tonight. Not just in scoring, but also in distributing and making sure that his others, super others, got a chance to play.
I 100% agree with both of you. Having Chet be much more involved as he walks over to our set, and having multiple guys. I said this to Chris upstairs. I said, I think this team is good enough.
Minnesota Chet.
There it is. Well, we'll get to that point, but we got a star of the game sitting in on us right now. We want to have him hear everything. What's up, Chet?
What's up, man?
Good game tonight. So, Chris, you started off, and we'll finish it up.
So, Chet, we talked during the Western Conference Finals, and good to see you here make it to the NBA Finals. But after that game 1, 2 for 9 from the field, and we've talked in the past about your struggles and what you've been through to bounce back in the first quarter. You came out strong. Did you have it as a point of emphasis to make sure you got off to a good start, those 9 points in the first?
My point of emphasis was really just to come out and compete, worry about all the things that matter towards winning, and let everything else take care of itself. I didn't want to put too much focus on shots, this and that, because if they don't go down early, that can kind of take you out of your game. And I feel like I let that happen in game 1, so I had to correct that in game 2.
As one of the main factors on this team, we know when your big three plays well, you guys are damn unstoppable. You had 6 points. How was those nights? You probably took it on yourself, sat and played well. That's why we lost. That's what great players like yourself do. How did you sleep, and what were you thinking about those 3 days off?
Man, I didn't sleep very well, but I was just thinking, about gratitude and how grateful I am to be here. If anybody can speak on it not being promised or guaranteed to you, I can speak on that. So, I know I had a bad game 1. Still feel like I can be better after this game 2, and that's getting back at watching the film, seeing where I can do that to get ready for the next games. But I just thought about where I could be better, and just thought about coming out and competing hard.
Chet, I followed your whole career, since high school. And high school, you had the ball in your hand, you were a playmaker. And then you go to Gonzaga, you have to change your game up a little bit. Now you get here to the pros, you got to even change it a little bit more. So I want to congratulate you on, shifting your game, not being the playmaker that you used to be, but when you get the opportunity to be, as you were tonight, how does that feel for you, knowing that you are more involved in the offense as opposed to just standing and waiting, catching, and having to shoot excuse me when I say this, those bomb shots?
It comes down to understanding that, I like to look at myself as a winner. Everybody's a winner until it's inconvenient. You can't shoot this shot anymore, can't shoot as many shots, can't dribble as much as you want. It's not about that. To me, at the end of the day, it's about winning, especially going through some of the stuff I've been through and how good our team is as well. It's not about coming back and trying to force my will on, what I want to do out there. At the end of the day, it's about figuring out how we can win and trusting that over time things build out. As I continue to work on my game, as I get better at things, as the team, continues to improve and find different areas to be better. But at the end of the day, winning's at the forefront. So
yeah.
Again, congratulations, firstly. But you made a great comment, Chet. A lot of players hear it. Impact winning. Be specific on what Chet Holmgren does that impacts winning.
It's a million things out there. From defense, having your guys know that you got their back when they get beat. You're at the rim to have their back, and that allows them to pressure up, play to get some steals, get us out in transition. It could be, spacing the floor, moving without the ball, attacking a bad closeout, shooting when they close short. It's a million things. Talking, that's a big one in the game, out of the game, doesn't matter. Getting your guys on the same page. I could sit here and talk all night about the things that really matter to winning. At the end of the day, you got to have dudes that can go, get buckets, and put up points. That's what the league's about, and everybody knows we got that. We got the MVP clearly. So, but at the end of the day, it's a five-man game. There's a lot of MVPs that never win a ring. It's not all on them. There's 5 dudes out there, and everybody collectively got to get it done. So. That's my mindset. That's our mindset as a team. All 17 are locked in on that, and that's what we're trying to do.
We know you play with the MVP, but do you say to yourself, like, for example, I need to average 15 a game, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks? Do you set goals like that for yourself, or do you just come in?
Of course, okay. I set goals for myself, and, I even said it tonight. I don't feel like I had a great game tonight by any means. I was impactful in areas, but I got to continue to get better. And over time, at the end of the day, you can't just look at numbers and be like, I want to put up these numbers. It's, you got to work to be able to do this and let that follow.
Chet, talk about the emphasis tonight on rebounding. You guys were, severely out-rebounded the last game, and it seems like there was a concerted effort by everyone to rebound the basketball better, limit Indiana's offensive putbacks.
Yeah.
Was that a focus on the board and on the game plan tonight?
Yeah, there's always got to be a focus on the boards. At the end of the day, you can't get out and run and try and score points if you can't close possession, especially the way we play defense. Sometimes there's some really tough shots shot at the end of the shot clock. So, there's some tough rebounds coming off. We got to track them down. But I don't think the stats tell the full story in the last game. We forced a lot of turnovers. And, when a team turns the ball over, there's no shot on the rim to go get the rebound. So I don't think it tells the full story there. But every game, no matter what the last game looked like, there's got to be an emphasis on the glass. We got to close possessions out so that we can get to the other end.
Lastly, there are guys in the league that we call unicorns or have been called unicorns. Year one, Porzingis, Wembanyama, and if you tell Shaq, Bobo is one of them.
My boy, Bobo.
If you say it. But in this era of basketball, how impactful do you feel that you have to show all of your versatility and be that mismatch every time? Do you pay attention to who's guarding you and when they're guarding you?
Yeah, at the end of the day, whether you're on offense or defense, you got to know who you're guarding at that point in time, especially against a team like this. You get cross-matched in transition. You got to know what they're trying to do on both ends, how certain players close out to you. Slower players will usually close short, try to gap the drive, and get a late contest on the three. Some of the quicker players will try to close out quicker, but they're usually shorter, so you got to think shoot over the top. But it's just that's why the game's so quick, and there's so many things that the average fan wouldn't think about that's going on out there. But you got to be able to kind of figure all that out on the fly and make plays.
Minnesota Chet.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren, just 3 years removed from being the second pick in the draft. Wow. Now just 3 wins away from potentially being an NBA champion. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it, Chet.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Way, baby.
Proud of you, man.